Welcome to Obi-Wan Studios. Today's LEGO Star Wars review is on the 9498 Saesee Tinn's Jedi Starfighter. This is a set I've wanted to add to my collection for a long time, and I'm very excited to open this one up today. This set is based on the Clone Wars Season 3, Episode 20, Citadel Rescue, and the only set based on that arc from the Clone Wars, so it makes this set just a little bit more special in my opinion. Saesee Tinn's Jedi Starfighter released in the summer of 2012 for $30 and retired at the end of 2013. Today, sealed in the box like this one I have here, you are looking at spending about $150 based on sales data from Brick Economy. The set comes with 244 pieces, 2 minifigs, and an Astromech droid. We have Even Pell, just an unreal addition to this set, Saesee Tinn, and then R3-D5. Both Even Pell and R3 are exclusive to this set. Now, one thing I wanted to highlight when it comes to the box for this set is on the back of it, it shows the Malevolence chasing after Saesee Tinn in his Starfighter. This is something that was mirrored on the box for the Malevolence, which I've also reviewed that set on the channel as well if you haven't seen that video yet. And there was also an old LEGO ad that featured both Saesee's Jedi Starfighter and the Malevolence together in it as well. So it's pretty cool just to see the history between these two sets from 2012. Alright, it's time to unseal this set. A quick reminder, I am dropping my 4481 Technic Hailfire droid review at 2,000 subscribers, so make sure you are subscribed if you haven't hit that button already. And now with that out of the way, let's open up this Starfighter. Inside the box, a little weirdly, we have 2 instructions manuals, a lone sticker sheet, and then 4 numbered bags. Starting off with our minifigures first, we have Even Pell. The fact that LEGO decided to make him and add him to the set is just awesome, honestly. He has a headpiece that looks just absolutely incredible. You have his hair accurately done on the top and the back, you have those large ears, and then the scar for his left eye, which extends right down to the face print. That headpiece just looks so good. And then if we take off that headpiece to get a better look at his face printing, it also just looks very sharp and even has some detail where the headpiece covers it up. But that face print, I think they just did a really great job capturing Even Pell's overall look. The rest of Even Pell's body printing I think looks really good as well, with some front and back printing, save for that skin tone color mismatching which we just commonly see on LEGO minifigs sadly, but his headpiece and that face print is really what makes him such a great minifig. I just think overall they really captured his look here and he's just awesome. Next is Saesee Tinn, another really good minifig. Like Even Pell, he has just a fantastic headpiece. The printing and overall color scheme on it is really good, and then the horns I think look fantastic as well. I think they're scaled nicely to his face. Just overall, it looks really good. His face print as well, taking that headpiece off, I think looks really great, just helping to capture his overall look. I think Saesee's look just in general was captured very well between the face print and the headpiece. Saesee's body printing is rather good as well. I do like the design of his Jedi robes on the front and back. On him you have that same skin tone color mismatching issue here, but it's not quite as apparent, maybe because that color actually ends up matching his horns, and maybe that's why it doesn't just look as noticeable as it does on other minifigs like Even Pell. Now the one thing I do kind of waver on when it comes to his design is the all white arms. Now it's done this way to represent his white bracer armor from the Clone Wars, and I think at the end of the day, I do like it as it just adds some extra color contrast to his minifig, but I can totally understand why you might not like it. Overall, I think Saesee is a pretty great minifig, and I'm excited to add my first version of him to my collection. R3-D5 is a really cool looking Astromech droid. I think the green color they used looks really good compared to how he looks in the episode. The printing is great on him too. You just can't expect to have back printing on Astromech droids from this era, so that's okay, he has no back printing. R3 is just a cool exclusive Astromech droid from this set. Overall, I think the minifigs in this set are awesome. I think this is one of the strongest lineups for any Jedi Starfighter set we've ever gotten, even over a decade later since the set's initial release, and they really are a huge reason to want to pick up this set if you don't have any of them in your collection already. And here is Saesee Tinn's Jedi Starfighter. In person, over the course of building it and having it in front of me for this review, it's actually become one of my favorite looking Jedi Starfighters. The proportions on it I think are so great, and the color scheme is very sharp. I absolutely love the dark green and gold on it in contrast with the white and black. Diving into the details of the Starfighter, on the top of the build we have a large sticker to show off that center point of the white Jedi logo on the Starfighter. It's too large comparing it to the show, but on the build I don't think it looks bad by any means, and the way they blend it in with the brick-built back half of the logo, it kind of needed to be this way. Now, I really have to applaud the effort LEGO went to trying to show the Jedi logo on this build, comparing it to the Starfighter in the show, and you might not have even noticed that Saesee's Jedi Starfighter has a white Jedi logo on the top of it, but you can see how for the center part, we have these side white stickers for the first point, then we have angled slope pieces for the middle points, and then the arms of this wedge plate make for the lower ones. You wouldn't know it just by looking at the build that it was their attempt at making something that represented the Jedi logo, but after rewatching the episode for this review, I have to say how much this effort is truly appreciated. On the top of the fighter, we have two flick-fire missiles. They don't look the best on the build in terms of display with those larger Technic pieces sticking right out, but for play, it's obviously a great feature. Underneath, we have storage for two more missiles, which is actually dual purpose as it represents the laser blasters on the top and bottom of Saesee Starfighter like we see in the show. On the sides of the build, we have some gold stickers and gold bricked curved slopes at the start of the cockpit. They are just more attempts at getting those little hints of gold accurately into the build, and boy, does this part of the Starfighter pop. Just before the cockpit, we also have R3's Astromech docking port. He fits right in with his whole body, and then to complete the look, you can place his head sideways facing forward. The wings in this build I think look pretty good. There was a clear attempt here again at getting the white shaping of kind of the ends of the Jedi logo. Then result looks good. Just to get the rough idea across, you're not going to notice it at all by looking at the wings, but hey, they definitely tried here when it comes to the color scheme. On the right wing, we do have a stickered Republic logo. This was a little bit annoying. There just should have been a printed piece for this. I don't know why they would have given a sticker when they switched to stickers for these. It just was annoying, but when you place it properly, it does still look really good. Now the cockpit on this build I really like. The overall shape of it I think is pretty much perfect. The windshield tilts up at the front in order to access the cockpit's interior. Inside you have a printed control panel which doesn't look brilliant if I'm being honest. This piece just looks so old and so dated, sadly. Luckily, you won't really ever see it when it comes to having this set on display. You also have plenty of room for Saesee to sit inside of the cockpit, and he looks pretty good sitting in there. The back of the cockpit has a sticker with the Republic logo on either side, and then we have that rear fin. It's not seamless as you can see the little gap between both sideways plates, but it still looks pretty good. There is a sticker on each side of the fin as well for some extra color detailing. The cockpit also has a pretty cool play feature in the fact it's designed to be an escape pod from the rest of the fighter. It's a unique feature to the Starfighter, and just a cool one at that. One area on the Starfighter that I'm surprised to like as much as I do is kind of this lower part just below the fin near the back of the cockpit. The shaping of this section I just think is really nice, and that gray and green color scheme of it too I just think looks very sharp, and it's just an area when you look at kind of the Starfighter from the back, it just looks really good. Underneath the back of the wings, we have the engines. At this point in LEGO Star Wars, they were still using those larger gray engine pieces that were just one piece, and I just really am not a fan of this look. It's another part on this build that just looks super dated. In terms of landing gear, there are 3 points of connection, one at the front and then one on either side near the back by the cockpit. It's a pretty simple system that works fairly well and can fully retract. That's really all you need in landing gear for a Starfighter like this. Lastly, on the underside, there is a clip to store Saesee's lightsaber just so you don't lose it when he is piloting his Starfighter. Overall, I think this is an absolutely killer Clone Wars era set. I really think it's one of my favorite Jedi Starfighters ever, and honestly, it's a bit underrated among Clone Wars era sets in general, in my opinion. The minifig selection is top tier for a Jedi Starfighter. You have 2 great minifigs and then a unique Astromech. It's just perfect. And then the build, honestly, there are 3 things I don't like about it. The engines, the control panel, and the flick-fire missiles. And in reality, those are pretty minor things to kind of not like about a build. And for 2012, I'd give this set a 9.5 out of 10. I just really think it's that good. Thank you for watching my review on the 9498 Saesee Tinn's Jedi Starfighter. If you enjoyed this review, make sure you give the video a like and let me know in the comments down below what you think of this set. Do you think I like it maybe a little too much and I'm thinking it's a little bit underrated when it's not? Let me know your thoughts on it as always in the comments down below. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already and you enjoyed the review, make sure you subscribe. That really just helps my channel grow as a new LEGO Star Wars creator, and it's just truly the best way to support my channel. Thank you again for watching, and don't forget to check out my YouTube channel for more LEGO Star Wars set reviews.